Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Bilco number RPSW18GSS. This is a guide arm, and this video is to give you visual evidence of this item, dimensional evidence. Let's start with the dimensions. Overall height, about 1.5 inches. Overall length, it's about 20.5 inches. Not exactly sure where the 18 comes in on the part number, but my guess would be the center to center of the points, even though that's not the case. You know, the center to center of the guide and then the bolt, but it's close to that. It's probably going to be about 5/16 thick, and it weighs about 1/4 inch, and it weighs 2.33 pounds. It's going to include a stainless steel hex cap bolt, couple of nuts, and then a couple of fender washers or flat washers. Now, what is this used for? We've done a visual tour of it, so I'm taking some dimensions, but what's it used for? Let's talk about that now. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. This guide arm, from what I know, is used on the TER-4 model floor vault. And how I know that is because I had a client reach out, it's actually called a floor access door, reach out and say that they needed the hardware from a TER-4. And that should have been simple and straightforward enough. We've got the model number, just need to know what hardware is on there. Well, the factory is understandably so suspicious, I suppose, of certain questions, that being one of them, because they obviously get questions all the time from people that are wanting to build their own units and just want to buy the hardware only. And the factory asked that we provide from the client photos of the unit, the serial number, and we were ultimately able to get all of that material. And it's still a bit shrouded as to why the client had a brand new unit but then needed the parts identification of the hardware that was there, but it did become somewhat clear that the client was going to try to, I think what they did was they ordered a TER-5, 42 by 42, but then for some reason realized that they needed a 48 by 48, and don't know that they were going to try to manufacture their own unit, but I believe the intent was to reuse the hardware. Well, that's not really a good idea at all, because there's no way to know if this hardware would work, and in fact you can count on it not working on a different size. The size will be different, the weight will be different, therefore. Bilco supports their product line very well, but what they don't support is putting their hardware into unknown applications. So we don't ask them to do that at all. And what you can take away from this video is this is the guide arm. Well, what the guide arm does, and there's on this TER-5, you've got a number of different pieces of hardware. You've got a hold open arm, and then you've got on one side, which would be the right side, and then you've got a guide arm, and this very heavy piece of stainless steel allows that entire lid to just stay where it needs to stay without any sort of twisting that's happening or movement that's happening. It's heavy. There's force that's being pushed possibly on just one side alone, and the guide arm helps keep that lid operating correctly. Other hardware would obviously be the lifting mechanisms. You can see one here right behind me. The hold open arm we just mentioned, the lock assembly, the hinges obviously would go along with that. So let's switch to the screen view and let's just show you what information I can provide in supporting for this. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. Here's an image that we have of what you get when you buy this. Fastener package. I can't say that that is intended to be not perfectly straight. I do notice that all of them seem to look like that, so I'm thinking it's by design. The hole at the opposite end, and then just another view of that T guide that's there. So the TER-4, that can be viewed here. So this is the guide arm that's out of the TER4. And this is an image that the client actually provided of the new item that they have. And unfortunately, we can't see some of this hardware at all. They obviously got it turned upside down. So the point being is, if you have a TER5, this is the proper item. But more importantly, if you're not sure of what you have, then send us all the information that you can provide us, because we're able to contact the factory and ask for guidance in terms of what it is. You're going to want to provide things such as the size, images obviously, a serial number if one indeed exists. I'll show you what a serial number looks like. This is actually the serial number used for this project. So not all units have a serial number, but if yours does, you will absolutely want to include that, because that will be the sure way of knowing that we are getting the proper bill of materials for hardware for that unit originally. Okay. There's a link below this video, as seen here, to the manufacturer's page, where you can pull up not only all of the Bilco products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you've made it this far into this video, you must be determined to see it through to the end, and we appreciate your hanging in there with us and watching this entire video. It means a lot. It takes a lot of work to create these videos, in the sense that, you know, it's time taken away from doing other things. However, the advantage for me personally of creating these videos is the fact that it does allow myself to either learn about something new, to reacquaint myself with something, or to reinforce what I believe that I already know. Any comments that you might leave down below would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. In conclusion, if you have any questions on the RPSW18GSS, and I do know that these are made in different sizes, and they have everything to do with the different first dimension of the unit itself. So reach out to us. No guesswork when it comes to roof hatch hardware. It's material that must work the way it was originally intended. And while sometimes the process takes longer than we would like to get the proper bill of materials for hardware your application requires, we are pretty much always able to get the correct original equipment as replacements to supply to you. Any questions on this or any other Bilco item, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.